Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're constantly busy doing the wrong things. Every day feels full, every hour is occupied, and yet nothing truly moves forward. You wake up tired, already thinking about everything you have to do, and you go to bed with the quiet frustration of knowing that none of it really mattered. Somewhere along the way, you started believing that effort alone would save you, that if you just stayed busy enough, eventually life would make sense. But effort without direction doesn't create progress. It creates exhaustion. And exhaustion slowly convinces you that this is just how life is supposed to feel. When clarity is missing, activity becomes a form of escape. You move constantly so you don't have to stop and think. You stay occupied because thinking leads to uncomfortable realizations. You confuse motion with meaning, urgency with importance. From the outside it looks like discipline. From the inside it feels like noise. And the danger is not just that you feel tired. The real danger is that the longer you live this way, the more normal it becomes. You adapt to misalignment. You normalize frustration. You stop asking whether this life actually fits you, because questioning it would require change. The uncomfortable truth is that being busy feels safer than being honest. Silence doesn't distract you. Silence confronts you. In silence, there are no deadlines to hide behind, no responsibilities to blame, no notifications to interrupt the thoughts you've been avoiding. Silence reveals patterns you've been running from for years. It shows you where you keep saying yes out of fear, where you stay loyal to routines that no longer serve you, where you confuse stability with fulfillment. That's why slowing down feels threatening. Not because you don't have time, but because you don't want to face what clarity might demand from you. So instead of listening, most people add more goals, more structure, more pressure. They wake up earlier, optimize schedules, consume productivity advice, all while feeling increasingly disconnected. They believe the problem is lack of discipline, when in reality it's lack of direction. Discipline applied in the wrong direction doesn't build strength, it builds resentment. You begin to feel trapped by the very systems you created to feel in control. And slowly, motivation turns into obligation, and obligation turns into quiet resistance. There's a moment most people recognize, but rarely admit. It's that quiet pause when everything slows down for a second, and you feel a subtle resistance inside. Not fear, not laziness, resistance, a sense that something you're doing no longer matches who you are becoming. Most people ignore that moment. They label it weakness. They override it with logic, responsibility, or pressure. But that resistance is information. It's your inner compass signaling misalignment, and every time you ignore it, you trade clarity for comfort. Here's the shift most people never make. The solution is not to do more, it's to do less, but with intention. Real progress doesn't begin with intensity. It begins with subtraction, removing commitments that drain you, letting go of goals that no longer align, saying no to paths that look impressive but feel empty when you're alone with yourself. This isn't quitting, it's choosing. And choosing requires honesty. Honesty about what energizes you and what slowly wears you down every single day. When you slow down enough to hear yourself think, clarity starts to emerge. Not all at once, quietly, subtly. You begin to notice how certain tasks leave you depleted, while others create calm focus. You recognize how often you've been reacting instead of choosing, how much of your time is spent maintaining appearances instead of building substance. This awareness is uncomfortable, but it's powerful, because once you see it, you can no longer pretend you didn't. Alignment changes everything. When your actions match your values, effort feels lighter. Focus becomes natural. You stop forcing motivation because your direction itself becomes the source of energy. You don't need constant stimulation or external pressure to move forward. Progress becomes steady, instead of frantic, quiet instead of chaotic. You begin to trust yourself again, not because life is easy, but because your choices are finally honest. Most people are tired not because they do too much, but because they do too much of what doesn't matter. They spend their energy proving, performing, impressing, chasing validation that never fully satisfies. Alignment removes that burden. It simplifies decisions. It reduces friction. It creates a calm confidence that doesn't need to announce itself. You move slower, but with more purpose. You speak less, but with more clarity. Being busy is easy. Anyone can fill a calendar. Anyone can stay distracted. Anyone can look productive from a distance. But building a life that actually works requires clarity. And clarity is rare because it demands courage. Courage to pause when everyone else is rushing. Courage to question paths that look successful but feel empty. Courage to admit that some of what you've been chasing no longer belongs to who you're becoming. Clarity doesn't arrive as a loud realization. It doesn't come with fireworks or dramatic breakthroughs. It arrives quietly, in moments most people ignore. In the pause between tasks, in the discomfort you feel when something no longer fits, in the subtle relief that comes when you imagine letting go. And the people who change their lives are not the ones who work harder than everyone else. They're the ones who listen sooner. At some point, you stop asking how to be more efficient, and you start asking how to be more honest. Honest about what drains you. Honest about what you're avoiding. Honest about what you've been tolerating just because it feels familiar. This honesty isn't comfortable, but it's freeing, because once you see clearly, you can no longer unknow it. And from that moment on, every small choice begins to matter. You don't need to fix your entire life today. You don't need a perfect plan or a dramatic reset. You just need clarity about the next honest step. One decision that removes noise instead of adding more. One choice that feels lighter, even if it's harder. That's how alignment begins. Quietly, slowly, intentionally. Clarity doesn't demand that you change everything overnight. It asks for awareness before action, for space before speed, for intention before effort. When you create that space, even briefly, you begin to see your life differently. Certain choices feel heavier than they should. Others feel lighter, even when they're difficult. This contrast is not random. It's guidance. And the more you respect it, the quieter your mind becomes. You don't need permission to live aligned. You don't need approval to choose differently. The moment you stop filling every silence with noise, you reclaim something most people lose early in life: the ability to hear yourself. And once you can hear yourself clearly, decisions stop feeling forced. They start feeling inevitable. Not louder, not faster, just clearer.